Hi everyone, Mela with Intero Real Estate. In today's episode of Real Talk for Real Estate, I am with landscape architect Greg Gill. Greg is the owner and founder of Gill Gardens, a landscape architect design and installation firm here in El Dorado Hills. And today Greg is going to talk to us and give us some hints to create a beautiful landscape for our home. Thanks so much for being with us today, Greg.
Thank you, Mela. It's great to be here.
It is. Beautiful sunny day in El Dorado Hills.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. You know, Greg, the first thing I'd like you to talk to us about today is, you know, it's that beautiful time of year, spring. Everyone loves to plant, go to local nursery, buy some beautiful plants for their garden. What should they look for when they go to the nursery to make sure they get the right plant for their home?
Yes, excellent question. Well, one of the things that you should first look at, besides what kind of plant you actually like, that you're attracted to, is the information that's given. Now, a lot of the local landscape centers will have their own description of the plant and its growing conditions. And sometimes that is opposite of what the tag on the actual pot of the plant says, because
interesting.
A lot of times these plants are grown somewhere that is not your local area. So they give, for example, the Bay Area conditions for some plants because they're grown there, but we're in a whole different microclimate here.
Yes, absolutely.
So a place around here locally, such as Green Acres, where a lot of people buy their plants, give their own descriptions of what the plant is and its best growing conditions. So always look for that, and it'll solve a lot of your problems of being frustrated by what the actual plant tag on the pot says.
And that way you'll have a beautiful plant once it's established in your yard.
Yes.
Okay, that's a great idea. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you've gotten home, you have all your beautiful plants that you bought at the nursery. What's next?
Okay, so pick the right location where you want to put this plant.
Okay.
You dig the hole, and then some people may get hung up on taking the plant out and seeing all these roots down here at the bottom. And some plants have been sitting at the nursery for a little too long, and their roots are trying to grow, but they reach the pot, and that's stopping them.
Okay.
Very easy to do is just loosen up the roots.
Okay.
And you could do that with your hand or a tool, and it's just gently scraping and kind of
Pulling them out.
roughing them up,
Okay.
and giving them a little bit of space and a little bit of air, and kind of tells them it's time to grow.
Okay. Okay, great. All right. And then just before you put it in the ground, should you put any fertilizer, special soil, anything like that to ensure that it takes root and blossoms beautifully?
One of a lot of different plants can take different types of fertilizer, but one of the best is just to use a general all-purpose fertilizer.
Okay.
It would be good if you ask your local landscape person or designer or someone at the nursery if there's anything in particular that the plant needs in terms of a fertilizer. And besides that, some good topsoil, some compost, anything to get some good nutrients into those roots.
Okay. And when you first plant a plant, does it need more water? I know I have a tendency, I buy a plant, especially it starts to get warm, and I'll sometimes drown the thing. What do you suggest as far as when you first planted anything? Should you do anything special in that regard?
Yes. Well, definitely keep an eye on it. You want to and make sure that you have your irrigation system up and running and irrigation going to the plant. But when a plant first gets in, it could use a little bit of extra water.
Okay, a little
it's
extra water.
It's always good. Once it gets established, most plants, as the years go on, need less and less water. But when it first goes in, you want to make sure that those roots are moist and just always keep an eye on those new plantings.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. Greg, if I'm going to either install new landscaping in a new home or I want to re-landscape my house, what's the benefit of using a professional when doing either one of those?
Yes. Well, the benefit of using a professional is that they can come up with a plan.
Okay.
And they can also choose the right plants for your space,
Uh-huh.
as well as coming up with the design of those plants.
Okay.
there's so many different aspects of plants that are used in design, from the repetition of certain plants to create a cohesiveness, even down to the texture of one plant next to another and creating contrast.
Okay. Yeah. So it can really help you and get a beautiful design. And I would think too, by having someone guide you, you're not going to end up wasting money. I know in the past I've purchased plants, they weren't right for the location, and it was just a waste of my money. So you're not going to experience that if you use a professional.
Right, exactly. They're going to give you the best plants to use for your space and come up with a design that is going to have you enjoying your garden for many years.
That's great. If you have questions about landscape design, or have a new home that you want to install some landscaping in, you want to refresh your landscaping for your enjoyment, or you want to refresh your landscaping because you're thinking about selling your home and you want to add value, call Greg. He can help you with all of those things. Greg, where can people reach you at?
Okay, best place is gill-gardens.com, and on there you can get all my contact information as well as my easy scheduling, which I can come out to you and give you a free consultation.
Okay, so that was gill-gardens.com to reach Greg. Be happy to talk to you about how he can help you with any and all of your real estate needs. If you have any questions about buying or selling, you can give me a call at 916-792-7362.